The top stories. Alma Parris School is in chaos, teachers say, as they stay away from the classroom. Scotiabank's closing branches across the Caribbean. And we hear from ace surfer Chelsea Tuach. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, November the 5th, 2014.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
Alma Parris School has been described as a chaotic place by the president of the Barbados Union of Teachers, Pedro Shepherd. Teachers took the day off from school and journeyed instead to BUT headquarters to discuss long-standing grievances against Principal Valdez Francis. As in the case of Parkinson, where teachers are also pitted against the principal, Mr. Shepherd called for the Ministry of Education to intervene. He painted a picture of disarray at Alma Parris, where he said fights broke out almost hourly. The generally poor performance of Caribbean economies in recent times has forced another Canadian bank to announce branch closures and job losses in the region. Scotiabank has joined CIBC First Caribbean and Royal Bank in announcing cutbacks. The bank says it will cut or shrink operations by 120 branches, resulted in the loss of 1,500 jobs. Though it is not clear what this means for its 7 branches in Barbados. CEO Brian Porter said the decision was a difficult one to make, but believed it would drive value for shareholders. Nearly 5,000 marijuana plants and about 2,500 pounds or 1,100 kilos of the drug have been destroyed by police. The burning operation took place at the airport. A Ministry of Health administrator says Barbadians should not give in to fear when it comes to Ebola. Tennyson Springer, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health, was addressing the controversial location of the Ebola Isolation Center at a panel discussion on Tuesday night.
The disease is Ebola plus fear. There's a major international fear going around in relation to this disease. Even in New York, people who work in units with Ebola are shunned in the supermarket, in the drugstores, on the streets. People are that fearful. So I understand the fear associated with managing this condition. But Barbados is a 1-by-1 country in terms of size, and this unit has to be close to something.
Mr. Springer was joined by medical officers at the forum, which also discussed chikungunya. A student with a perfect grade point average is among 3 recipients of the John Wickham Scholarship for Literature. Jandai Worrell had a perfect 4.0, while Cassandra Headley and Raquel Rowe had a 3.87. The students of the Barbados Community College each received cash and a plaque. The scholarship was set up in 2004 in memory of John Wickham, a journalist and writer of distinction. Sport now, elite surfer Chelsea Tuach is back home after her fine performance at the World Junior Surfing Championships in Portugal, where she finished 3rd.
I was glad to take home 3rd for Barbados, so I feel proud of myself, and I'm just more driven to do better next year. There's always room for improvement, and I'm just going to keep working on my surfing, working on my heat management, and come back stronger.
Tuach ended the year as the highest placed junior in the North American region where she races. It'll be a mixture of serious racing and fun at Bushy Park on Sunday. On the one hand, there's Suzuki ROC Barbados Challenge to select a local team for next month's Global Race of Champions. There's also the Suzuki Rocks JDM Squared Street Champions, which is searching for winners of such categories as Best Looking Car and Best Sounding Car. A group of wounded, injured and sick servicemen and women from Britain are on a tour of Barbados, during which they will use cricket to overcome their life-changing injuries and illnesses. The trip is part of the extensive sports recovery program of the military charity Help for Heroes. The group of players, Cricket for Heroes, will play 5 fixtures against Barbadian clubs. And finally, an Egyptian bus driver found out that his wife was 2 months pregnant after submitting her urine in place of his own for a mandatory drug test. After he assured officials that the sample was his own, he was reportedly told, "Congratulations, you're pregnant." Apparently, the Transport Authority will now require a blood test as well as a urine sample to prevent people giving fake samples. And that's Nation News for Wednesday. For more, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. And get your Daily Nation on Thursday.